This switch in the wall controls this fan that's up here in the ceiling. And I'm not really using the fan. The fan is noisy. It hasn't been used in years. I don't really want to cut a hole in the ceiling and replace it. It's above the washer and dryer. So what I was going to do is I was thinking of putting in one of those combo switch outlet things so I could still control the fan, but I've never used the fan since I've been in here. So I was just going to leave it alone, and then a thought came across my mind is, why not just put an outlet in here and shut off the wires going to the fan, because I don't really need to control the fan. And if I've got power in this box, if I have a neutral, which I should have, if I have a neutral and I have a hot, then I can just close off the wire going to the ceiling over there with the fan. So that's what I'm going to check out now. I'm going to see what's going on. I've got the power turned off. Let's make sure it's off. Turned it off at the breaker. The fan's not coming on anymore. I know I could have better lighting, but I don't really want to mess with it now. So what I want you to look at is we have wires coming in from the bottom. You have wires, two wires. What do we have? Do we have two wires coming in? Do I need to do better lighting? Maybe I need to do better lighting. We have Romex coming in from the bottom. We have a black wire and we have a white wire, which would be our power. Let's see, I'm used to electronics where the black is ground and the white is hot. But in electrical, the white is neutral and the black is hot, so it's completely backwards. So we have a Romex cable in the bottom, and we have a Romex cable in the top. You can assume that the one going to the top is going up the wall into the ceiling to the fan. You can assume that the one coming in from the bottom is the wire with power. So we have a black wire and a white wire. We also have the grounds that are over here. You can see the grounds that are not connected. They did not connect them at all. They should be connected, but they're just floating. So we have a black wire and a white wire on the bottom. The white wire connects into the wire nut and goes up to the ceiling, and that is going to be, how are they doing this? They're switching the black. Okay, so we've got the white wire, which is our neutral, and we've got the black wire, which is the hot. So the black wire, the hot, comes in from the bottom, spirals around into the switch, comes out of the switch, and goes up to the top. So what we're doing is we are switching the hot wire. We're switching the hot wire. The switch, the power comes in and goes through the switch, gets switched on, and feeds up to the ceiling. The white wire is already connected as your neutral. So if I want to make this an outlet, a power outlet, I need to make sure that I've got power at all times. And remember, this black wire up here, we're switching. That's the switch wire. I don't need that anymore. All I need is the two wires that are coming in from the feed down at the bottom. I don't even need this white wire. I can take this white wire off because that is going up to the ceiling. That's going up to the fan. The white wire and the black wire are going up to the ceiling. Not needed at all. All of my power that I'm going to need is the two wires coming in. And I should be able to connect the ground wire also, which I'm probably going to do. So what I'm going to do now is, you know, if you don't feel comfortable doing stuff like this, if you don't feel confident, don't do it. It's not worth hurting yourself or shocking yourself or worse. And even if you do this stuff, be very careful. Don't touch bare wires. And you should be okay. But you might want to hire a qualified electrician or somebody to do this. For me, I'm just, as I said, taking the fan out because I'm never going to use the fan. Once the washer dryer gets put in this room, I'm not going to be able to reach up and cut anything out of the ceiling. So I may as well make the best of this this thing. Instead of having a switch that I can't even use anymore, or that I don't use, I'll just turn it into a power outlet. If you like my videos, thumbs up, subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. What else is there? Check out my video description box. I will leave some Amazon affiliate links. If you click on them before you do your order, it helps me out. And that's all I can say. So I'm going to go take this wire nut off, and I'm going to take these two wires off of the screws over here, and I'm going to get some electrical tape to cover things up that I don't need anymore, and then I'm going to get out a meter to make sure that what I'm doing is correct before I connect it. Two things you want to check. First off, you want to make sure that you have the right outlet if you're going to be doing this. This looks like 14 gauge wire. I ran into a problem in a video I just posted where I had 12 gauge wire. 12 gauge wire going into an outlet that accepted, an old outlet that accepted 12 and 14 gauge wire. When I realized I couldn't push this wire into the back of my outlet, I said, hey, something's not right here. We've got 12 gauge wire. I checked the breaker. It was a 20 amp circuit, not a 15 amp. 20 amp needs 12 gauge. 15 amp needs 14 gauge. 14 gauge is smaller than 12 gauge. So I went out and I bought the right outlet. Now, when you have these things, you've got a little hole at the back. You put a screwdriver in there, you tilt it towards the wire, and it should release the wire. Notice how I'm not putting my hand on the switch. I'm not putting my hand on the wire. I'm not putting my hand on the screws. I'm keeping myself safe and away from all of this stuff. So I've got one more notch over here. I'm going to pop that in there, turn it towards the wire, pull a little bit, and sometimes it doesn't work and you just have to break the switch. Or you have to crack the plastic to get the wire out. Or you cut the wire, it's up to you. So I'm going to go, you don't have to do this, I am going to do it for safety's sake, even though the power is off. I'm going to do this so I'm not putting my hands on bare wires. Or you can take some electrical tape. So now I'm going to unspiral this thing. The wire down at the bottom is going to be the one with power. The wire at the top is going to be the wire that's going up to the fan. The same with the white wire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this big nut on here. I'll remove your nut. And usually these are, if an electrician did that, they probably twisted it before they put it in the nut. Yeah, that's how you can tell if an electrician did it. So, you can go in there and get some dikes, some pliers, and untwist that, or you can just cut the wire. What I'm going to do beforehand is I'm going to check to make sure, do I have my power on the bottom wires? Got my meter over here. I've got the breaker on right now. I'm going to be very careful. I'm going to put a meter probe over here and one over here. And they show 120 volts. Power's on the bottom. Breaker is off just to make sure I didn't mess up. I'm going to check the voltage again just to make sure that we have 0 voltage on here now. At 0 voltage, we are good to go. What I'm going to do now, since we know that this is power and this is power and these two wires up here going to the ceiling are not needed, I'm going to cut this wire over here. I'm going to strip it, and then I'm going to connect these two wires to the switches. To the outlet, and the two wires at the top, we're going to tape them up and get them out of the way. I unspiraled the black wire, I cut it to length, and I stripped both of these. Now I could put these in the back of the outlet, which I might do, and it will make it easier. I could put them on the screw, either way. And I removed the ground wire that's sitting here. You can see it's painted over, never been used. I get a little bit of sandpaper, because if you're dealing with an outlet, you want it to be grounded to protect your life. Alright, I don't want any comments about me moving my hands like I am. Going back and forth on here. I want to make this some bare wire. Okay, it's clean enough. Here's the outlet. We have the power. You can put it in either hole on this side, either hole on this side for the other wire. I can't remember which side is supposed to be on what. And then we have the ground screw down over here. I think it's white, silver, black, gold. Fascinating. I never noticed this, but it does say, if you look in tiny little print over here, it says white. But my saying that I made up is pretty incredible. White, silver, because there is white, silver. And black, gold, you know, black, gold, Texas tea. So white goes to the silver and the black goes to the gold. Wow, amazing for me. Now, in this case, as you know, I'm very cautious. I don't want to touch these wires until I have to. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go add the ground wire to the green screw first, because I don't have to worry about dealing with any power on any wires, even though there is no power. There is my ground wire. Now, I do want to give a little shout out, a little comment. This will only work, if I get my voice back, this will only work if you have a neutral in here. If they wire this thing where all you have are two black wires and you are switching you're switching your power, and all the wiring, the neutral is up in the ceiling and it's not down in the box, you cannot do this. You need to have both black and white. You need to have your hot and your neutral to be able to switch a switch box to an outlet box. I did a video on my channel on how to install a switch outlet combo. If you need more information, go watch that. It will help you out. It will explain it a little better on the correct wiring, what you need in the box. But you need to be able to get 120, which I have over here. And these two wires, again, this is the switched wire, and this is the neutral going up, so I don't need those. I can attach these two wires to my box and get power. And again, before I touch this stuff, I just want to double check to make sure I have no power on here. It's up to you how you do this. You can strip the wire. It's very easy. Strip the wire. There's a little wire gauge stripping thing on the bottom. Don't nick the wire when you strip it. You don't want to do that, but you can strip the wire and put it into the back holes over there. With me, I just put a little loop on here. That loop's probably too small. You definitely don't want the insulation under the screw when you do this. So, black wires going out there, and the wires resting on that little ridge on that side. So all I have to do is move the white wire over now. I'm going to connect the white wire, and then make sure the wire is going in the proper direction when you tighten the screw. You want this side to be well, I'll show you. Let me try to get that so you can see it. So I've got the wire going from behind and wrapped around this way, looped going from this way, looped that way. So when you tighten the screw, the wire is not going to go backwards and come off. So I've got that. I'm not going to put my hands on both sides. I'm going to hold the outlet. I'm going to tighten down. The nice thing about these screws is if you need to, you can unscrew them completely and get the screw inside there with the nice loop and then tighten everything down. You normally cannot do that with the green screw, but you can definitely do it with the power screws. What I like to do is the extra screws, you can see these over here, I tighten them down all the way. This is a plastic box, but I still tighten them down all the way to keep them out of the way. Now, the only thing that's left for me is I need to tape these wires up, isolate them from each other. They're not connected at all, but I'm still going to isolate them. I'm going to cut the bare wire on this other one, and then I'm going to tape it up and push it in there, so if somebody ever decides they want to add the fan back, they can do that. You can see that I cut the bare wire, so we don't have to worry about any problems or nicking. Then I folded it over, and now I'm going to take a piece of electrical tape, completely tape that up. So, you know, when I'm no longer on this earth, if somebody ever moves in here and decides they want to add a fan back, which I doubt, because the fan hasn't worked in forever, they can do that. So now what I need to do is I need to, always the hard part, getting it in. I'm going to push these wires back in the box, get them to the back, get them out of the way. And this is why I tape them up, get them completely out of the way. I don't have to worry about them touching anything. They're at the back. And as I said, these are in a plastic box, so. And then, you don't have to do this, but what I'm going to do, a little bit of overkill protection, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape, well, no, I was thinking I was going to tape these up, but I don't need to do that because this is not a metal box. So I don't have to do that. So I'm going to carefully guide my wires back in there. That's why you want to tighten them down as you're doing this. When you go to the store and you buy the outlets, make sure that no one has opened up the package and removed the screws, or you will be going back to get screws. And since you were doing the new outlet, make sure you get a matching faceplate. They come in standard and extra large, so if you have a bunch of cracks on the edge, you can get a little plate, a plate that's a little bigger. These come in white, almond, brown, and I forget what other colors. Next step is you feed one screw in at a time, try to get it lined up a little bit, press it in. Some people like to jam the thing in there and then tighten down the screws. I just like to get it lined up, and then I go a little bit at a time so I don't bend the outlet. I don't bend the little tabs up at the top. And I think we're almost finished. So this video is really how to take a switch box, a box with a switch, and turn it into an outlet. And if you have this switch and you want to be able to use it still and you want to add an outlet, then go watch my video on how to install the combo outlet switch that they sell. And as long as you have your neutral wire in the box, which my video explains, talks about in detail, then you should be okay. So the only other step I have, I think I bought a faceplate. You know, when you go to the store, these things cost like 50 cents or something, or a buck, I don't know. The plate costs hardly anything. When you go to the store, buy a few of these so that if you ever want to do something like this again, you don't have to rush to the store to get an outlet and a faceplate. Let's check it out now. We're either going to spark like crazy, or we're going to be okay. Go, people. I'm going to turn on the breaker right now. Oh my God, I freaked out. I was looking, I'm going, oh, what, was I doing that with the breaker on? But, no, I was looking at the wrong section. So we should have power on here now. Let's plug in the lamp and see if this job is successful or not. We'll have power on the top also. And then all you have to do is put on your faceplate. Which thankfully I have. This is my last faceplate, but I'm going to go put this on now. Now, you can see how this is kind of on a side angle. And you can straighten this out if you want to. I've got some wall stuff over here, that's why it's not evening out. Okay, so now it's a little more even. And I've got a little stuff down here, that's why it's not evening out. What I did is I took the screwdriver, I stuck it underneath there and broke it away a little bit so that that ear will fit in there now. And the outlet is flatter. It looks better. It doesn't look like it's cock-eyed to the side. And how does it look when we put this on here now? Does it look a little better? Looks a little better. And this is in a closet where no one's ever going to see this. But I just thought I'd rather have access to some power than to have a switch that just sits there that I can't use. Yeah, I could spend some time fixing those little ears up over there. I probably need to loosen the outlet a little bit so it goes against the plate better. So I'm looking for another screwdriver, which I cannot find. I'm going to tighten this down a little bit more. And I'm going to get the lamp. We're going to check this one last time, people. We're going to plug into the outlet. We've got light, please thumbs up, subscribe, like, share, comment, as I said a billion times, and make sure you click on the Amazon affiliate links. Helps me out a lot, makes me want to do more videos. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you're not qualified, if you don't feel safe doing this, hire somebody to do it. Whatever you do, shut off the power before you mess with any of this.